back up the trail today. I know it's been a while since you've heard from us, and things have been pretty quiet around here. It's been kind of a hard winter. We've had a lot of snow, as you can see, and we've had some pretty extreme temperatures that went on for quite a while. The last activity that I'm aware of out here was that day back in early December, when all this snow was still fresh and new, and I had that vibration go up my back. Since then, you know, the weather's just been really harsh. I don't know if it's because we haven't been out here as much to experience it, or if they just haven't been here, but I haven't heard anything. I haven't heard any reports. You know, it's entirely possible that a winter like this, they either, you know, went to a lower altitude, or, well, just maybe somewhere else altogether. I don't really know. But in the last week, temperatures have come back up. The snow is starting to melt off a little bit, and it almost has a feeling of spring out here, even though it's still January, but I just love an early spring. So anyway, we do have a new report that makes me pretty sure that they're back. If they left, I'm not sure that they did leave, but yeah, I'm pretty sure there's somebody out here again now. So what happened? Monday, I was at work at the store, and my friend Coralee was there. And this is Coralee. Say hi.
Hello.
And she was going to take her dog for a walk up here that day. And of course, like I always do, I said, well, keep your ears open for anything strange, or your eyes for anything you might see. And when she came back, I was happily surprised to discover she had something to tell me about. So I'll let you take it from there. Why don't you tell us about what happened that day?
All right. So that was just a few days ago on a Monday. And like Barb said, I wanted to take my dog for a walk, and she had asked me if I was going to go up and do the loop, which I usually do in the summertime. And I said, you know, I hadn't been up since the snow had fallen, because I didn't think I'd be able to cross up into the road. And she said, no, there's a little bit of a well that's been, you know, walked on, and you should be able to at least make it up to the top.
Yes, you can see here where people have walked, and so there is a bit of a trail to make it easy.
So I thought, all right, great. I'm going to take my dog out and get him for a little bit of a longer walk. And which is a Gunner, he's a little big white shepherd mix of something. Anyway, so we made our way from the store, did some back road, and made ourselves over to the trail, and came up the trail, came up to the road, went all the way up the road, and it was icy enough I knew I needed my trekkers on. So I had those, and we got up to the top, and we're starting to make our way down, and it was afternoon, it was probably already then 3:30, 3:45, somewhere in there, and we started heading down, and it was in the back of my mind thinking, I wonder if I should be coming out and walking the road. I wonder if I wanted to walk back, and I thought, well, that's a long walk. Also, what am I going to do? Well, I got to a steep part, and it was pretty icy, and I realized I had walked out of one of my trekkers.
She's referring to the chains on her boots.
And I thought, oh, well, there you go. I'm going to head back and find it. So not knowing where I'd walked out of it at, my dog and I head back up, and there it was at the top of the hill. So I thought, well, there's a sign. I'm just going to go back the other way. I shouldn't be on the road at come dusk. And it was starting to, you know, you could see real dusk was coming in, and I'm glad I brought my flashlight with me. Hadn't needed it though. So we came down, and it was just nice, quiet, walking down, hadn't seen anybody. The only thing that we did hear is my dog had looked over and heard some branches breaking down below us on the way up, but there's so many elk track out here that I didn't think much about it. And that was about it till we came back. And we were coming down this area right here behind me and getting ready to turn down the trail. We were just coming down the trail, and I heard what, to me originally, I was thinking it's an elk, and then as the noise grew louder, I thought, that is not an elk, that's somebody with an elk horn trying to make an elk call. And I thought, no, that doesn't sound like that either. Because I don't know if I can do it, but it's just kind of like it starts slow and it just keeps getting louder. And it almost sounds like an air raid horn.
Like a siren.
Yes. And I thought, well, that's weird. And I was trying to place where it was coming from, and it was hard for me to decipher. I thought, well, maybe it's down by the houses, and I thought, no, it's farther away than that. And I couldn't place exactly where it was coming from. But it was loud, very loud, and very even tone. And we just kept going down the trail, and finally made it back to the store, and it was dark. But by then it was already 5:30, I think, something like that. And came in the store, and we were cold and tired. Barb asked, "Did you see anything out there?" And I was like, no, but there was this. I think somebody was trying to make an elk call, and I don't think they were doing too good of a job. So she proceeded to ask me the questions about it, and she said it kind of made a reminder of something.
Well,
and,
you started trying to do the call that you had heard, and you started out like with this, oh, and you got to about there, and I went, oh, that's not an elk call.
Yeah, right. So that's what I was thinking. It sounded weird. So then we tried to go, and she tried to see if there was some video online.
The Ohio Howls I told you to look up.
Yeah, right. And then somebody else had come by and was trying to let me listen to some calls.
That was Sam. Sam had stopped in.
Yeah, and I thought, no, there was like 4 or 5 that I listened to, and I said, no, none of those are it. And so Barb said, look up the Ohio calls. So I did, and there was one from 1994 and another one, I think it said 2005 or 2015, one of those two. So I listened to them, and it was spot on the same sound that I heard. The only difference was it was just one and not 2.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you had one call. About how long did it last? Can you guesstimate?
It seemed like a long time, but it's probably maybe 15, 20 seconds.
Wow, that's a long call. Okay, so we're back at the store. That was just kind of a weird experience we had up on the trail. She was right in the middle of her interview, and the camera died. Which is really weird because I went out there with a fully charged camera. I didn't even record on the way out just to ensure that we would have a good battery for the interview. And yeah, that was weird. And the strange thing about it was that Jack, right when you're talking, and I go, wait, the camera died. And Jack starts looking down the trail, barking, Gabby's barking, and we're thinking somebody's coming.
Sorry.
There was nobody there, nobody came.
No.
That was weird.
It took them almost a whole minute for them to stop barking.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'll come back down here, plug the camera in, and the battery was low, but it wasn't dead enough that it should have shut off. Yeah. So that was a strange little experience.
That was weird. That was weird. So I'm not sure because she hasn't been able to go back and look at the actual footage from this, but we noticed the camera was dead after I had said that the sound that I heard is the same. It was the exact same thing that the Ohio Howl that I found online. The only difference is that there was only one time that it happened, but for me it was much closer, and it was loud. It was really loud.
So was it something you could actually feel the vibration of it, the energy of it in your body, or it was just something you heard in your ears?
No, I think it was just in my ears, but it was less than, to me it felt like it was less than a half mile away.
Yeah.
And it was just, it filled the air around me. That's, that kind of strong, but I can't say I felt it anywhere else in my ears. And I didn't really have any other sensation about it, and I thought it was strange, but and I'm still kind of trying to still soak it in, like, okay, it's been known that a Bigfoot has made this sound before, and it's the only That Ohio howl is the only thing that that is exactly the same as what I heard, and I find it really strange. And
Yeah.
you know,
I've heard that exact same howl up here just a couple of months before I saw the big guy chasing the elk back in late summer of 2012. I heard it 4 times, just like that, the siren scream. And yeah, it's really something to hear, isn't it?
it is. I mean, it is. I mean, that's to me as significant as almost maybe more so. I'm not sure, but in the spring of last year of 16. My boyfriend and I, Ken and I, had gone up into same trails, doing some of the same loop, coming back. Actually, we had done the same loop, but we were doing it backwards, and we were coming back to the same area of the forest up there, and coming down, and we had kind of a strange sensation, and we'd talking, had our dog with us, same dog, and all of a sudden we had heard like somebody smacking on the trees with another piece of wood. It was way out into the trees where there was no trail.
Oh, okay.
And it was coming from quite a ways away, and it was knocking on the trees. And so we stopped and we were listening, trying to figure out what it was. You know, like, is there somebody else out there? Is it some, homes or something? Anyways, it was, to us, it was obvious it was in the trees, and it was moving closer towards us at a pretty good pace, where for no trail being at, I didn't think it was really that possible. I mean, even if somebody was running, they'd have to be able to jump over trees that are fallen, move branches out of the way. But this thing kept knocking on the trees the whole time as it was coming towards us, and it maybe a couple 100 yards away at the most. And that's probably farther away than what I'm probably saying it's farther away than it actually was. That noise stopped coming towards us and started going up the hill next to us, and it was doing the same thing at the same pace going up the hill.
Wow.
And I'd say from start to finish it was only maybe 2-3 minutes
Wow.
that it covered that much space. And to me, I've always thought that was really something that has stuck with me.
Wow. How did you feel? Were you startled, scared, calm? How did you feel when this happened?
I think to somebody who had seen me, I would look like I was calm and just like, okay. I mean, I stopped and I was looking. Like, I knew the direction. I was able to find the direction it was coming from fairly quickly. But I stayed there until it stopped, and trying to guesstimate the distance. And it's a little unnerving when you're out in an area that you think you're used to, and then something weird happens and you don't have an explanation for it.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, are there hunters out here doing something, or are there,
Well, it's not hunting season.
No, no, it's not hunting season. And I thought about that, and I thought, okay, does that mean that there's some drunk kids running around out here? And I thought, no, there's
I've
not.
thought that before too. Many times over the
It
years.
was just beginning to be dusk. It was like real dusk was starting to set in.
Wow.
So if we had going down into the trees, it was dark.
Wow.
Yeah.
Cool. Perfect time of day for that. So, do you have any apprehensions with being out in the woods at that time of day anymore?
No.
No?
No.
Okay.
I think if anything, I have some curiosity, and I feel comfortable taking my dog out. I don't know if I would go out there by myself.
Amazing how much comfort just having them there with you gives you, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, cool. Well, thank you very much for sharing this with us. It's much appreciated.
Thank you.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.